Hello YouTube, Joey here from Team Burning Infinity, bringing you guys a deck profile of Jake. And this time we've got Dragon World with Jackknife Drum Bunker.
Alright, so, life counter out aside, Dragon World's the usual. We got that OG set 1 Jackknife Dragon Buddy Rare as our buddy. Sexy ass. Fuck.
Yeah, just keep it down a tiny bit because,
sexy
don't
AF.
the neighbors.
So we start out with some size heroes. We got Crimson Battler, a cheering squad, good luck.
Can't believe that's its name.
Yeah, I mean, we'll just call it Cheering Squad. So it's a size 0. It is 2/1/1. It's counter, put it into the drop zone to give anything with the word Crimson or Fist in its name an extra critical. So this can be used on your weapons, which is our main purpose. But if you just look at this and splashing and some other things, you can also give a Crimson Battler card an extra crit, which very rarely comes in handy in this deck. Now we move on to size 1s. We have 1, 2, 3 copies of Crimson Battler Catapult Knuckle. It's basically Dancing Magician Tetsuya for a fist weapon. Link attack with it and a fist weapon, and that fist weapon gets double attack for the turn.
Unfortunately, you can't link with one, then link with the other, and then swing again.
Yeah.
I tried it once that area. I totally forgot that thing gives double attack, and I was like, right.
Right. Also, it's once per turn, too, so it's not like doing it with all if you have 2 of them and you do it with all 3. Don't work either. Now we go on to other size ones that are also important. This is basically a drum and jack mix. These 2 kinds of monsters, or 7 cards, are the only things that are Crimson Battler that you're going to see. Now we have drum size ones. We have 1, 2, 3 copies of Super Deformed Drum. We're looking for a 4th, which would be really nice. Sales post. So it's a 2/1/2. It's got an act ability to pay 1 gauge, and if you do that, you can call a drum monster on top of it by paying its call cost. And so it's, already starts off with a free soul guard, even if the monster doesn't give soul from the top of the deck. Now you've also got 1, 2, 3, 4 copies of Drum Bunker Dragon SD. Technically, Super Deformed is the same thing as SD in Japan, so we're graced with 2 versions of it. This one is 3/2/1. When you call a drum monster, and for people looking to play this deck, it's the first instance of a drum monster. You can either take this card from your drop zone and bring it back as its own monster, or you can put it into the soul of the drum monster you called.
Everyone side your Dragon Gates against this.
Yeah, pretty much. Dragon Gates will fuck up most of this deck.
This is really sad.
Now we move on to size 2s. We got that magical tech 1 of Jackknife Burn Energy. Free to call, can't be called to the center. 6/6 Soul Guard, and when it comes to the field, it's Dragonic Charge. It's kind of in there just for free gauge. I never really use it, but it comes in here every once in a while. Now we got the main drums. One of the main drums, size 2 monsters. Super Armor Dragon, Drum Breaker Dragon, Colonel Keyword. Call cost, put it on top of a drum and pay 1 gauge.
Is the Colonel Keyword the next card?
No, Captain Keyword is the next card. Or is the second to next card.
Okay.
This has got move, penetrate, and soul guard, and act ability to basically use move in the main phase. Simple enough. And it's 7/3/5. So now we've got our buddy, Jackknife Dragon. I think we all know what this does.
Yeah.
But we'll explain it quickly. 6/3/6.
Pay a
gauge to call it. Oh, 5/3/6. My bad. A gauge to call it. And it's got an act ability, pay 2 gauge to call a Jackknife monster from your deck and this is Bushy's fault, without paying its call cost. Does not say you have to pay it, which is magical. Now the reason we play this...
That's fair.
What?
That's pretty fair.
It's pretty fair, but I mean, they wouldn't do that nowadays.
No, they would.
All
pay
right.
2 gauge.
So, next card would be the main point of our monsters in this deck, Jackknife Drum Bunker. This is what every one of our monsters amasses to. It's easily searchable with Jackknife Dragon, since it counts as a Jackknife monster, but I can also put it on top of any drum monster in this deck. This is your Colonel Keyword. So this would be
Probably
Commander
the
Keyword.
thing about this deck.
This is like the point of this deck. So it's on its own, it's pay a gauge and basically do the whole evolve thing on either a Jack or a drum monster. Based on what's in its soul, between Jack and drum, it gets different abilities. So if it's got Jack in its soul and only Jack, you get move and double attack. So I can either strike twice for 4 and have move, or if it's on top of a drum monster, I get an extra critical and soul and penetrate. So it basically becomes this without move. or I could just put it on top of itself and get
And then you
all
get
the
more
pluses.
broken.
One of the main combos of this deck is to use Jackknife Dragon to search it out, and then use Drum SD to pull one from the drop and put it into Soul. So now you've got both under it and 2 Soul. It's OG stupid. It's major stupid. So that would be our monster lineup. I do not know how many monsters that is.
Don't worry about numbers.
Yep. Now we're on to spells. We got 2 that Pro-Dragonic Grimoire. Backwater Inscription's been a thought, but oh well. Instead of Drago Energy, I'm playing 3 copies of Drago Defense, because this can be applied to more than armor dragons, and that's just been more appealing to me in general.
Pretty sure every single one of your monsters is an armor check.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I've been using it in other decks, so this card appeals more to me than Drago
Also,
Energy does.
You know, most of your monsters already have a good amount of power. Just
Yep.
Defense.
So now we've got 4 copies of Dragomon. You use before the main phase, move to center. First strike doesn't kill, but it gets you 2 life.
And the main phase, the enter value move.
Right.
You basically get like really broken wall
with that can't die for 1 hit. And then like Dragon Shield. We're playing Simon, folks. It's green and blue. I don't really know what else you'd need to tell about these. Now we've got our weapon lineup. This is an all fist lineup. We've got Steel Fist Dragon Knuckle. Don't really need to explain that. And we got Chieftain Fist Drago General. This is Dragon World's Soul Guard weapon.
which is really good.
Guys, here again should not have gotten this first. With Dragon World's version of it, it's 5,000 power is standard. Pay a gauge and put the top card of the deck into the soul. Act ability to pay 1 gauge and give it another soul once per turn. And it gains a critical for every card in its soul. So if you pay 2 gauge, it's definitely worth it on the first shot. Then you've got Gigantic Crushers. Pay 3 gauge if no one has a center, and you've got a fist equipped. Deal 4.
They have to be at 4 or less life.
Reducible. Oh, yeah, 3 or 4 or less life and 4 non-reducible damage. There you go.
And that's it
And
for
that
the
is
deck profile.
that is our deck profile.
Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe for more bite-sized content, and check out our other videos. Thanks for watching. Joey from Team Burning Infinity with Jake, signing out.
Peace.